All right. Hello and welcome. How is everyone doing on what I truly hope is a fantastic uh April the 22nd? How you doing?
Who are you again?
Yeah, I know I'm this weird Matthew guy. You may have heard of me in the past. I don't know. I keep flaking out for
Hmm.
some reason whenever I do things.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, whomever you are.
But hey, I appreciate you joining me a random guy's stream.
Well, I just had this link and I just had to follow it, so find out what was going on. But thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for joining us, and thank you to everyone in the chat. I apologize. My voice is sounding a little bit weird tonight. I've been
I
getting over this
noticed.
weird respiratory gunky thing.
Well, I've had some congestion myself, so I feel for you.
It, thankfully it's like so I've had it for probably about a week and a half now. So is that right? I mean, off kinda. So like, hey Shy, how you doing? And hey everyone else in the chat. Kay Roberts, Josh Street, Trevor Lauren, uh, this Professor Brainy Specs guy. Huh, I'm not sure if I knew
I don't
him.
know who that. I don't know who that is. Don't pay attention to this right here.
Yeah, yeah, weird stuff. Omnicast, Memphis Guy, Trek Reviewer. So glad that you are all here today. And of course Thomas Potts, as I put him to sleep with the melodious sound of my messed up voice. Uh, so yeah, so um, like a week and a half ish ago, my family and I every early April into March we go to Oklahoma for a couple days, and like I thought it was just the allergies because like it was just a blanket of pollen everywhere, and stuffed up nose, not feeling too great, and then we get back and my son loses his voice. My
Uh-oh.
voice keeps trying to go in and out. And you may remember the reason I haven't been doing live streams is preparing for this 90% review of the system I've been working on with a client last week. And so all
Right?
last week, I'm like popping cough drops, trying to keep my voice going just enough so that I can do these review meetings with them all week long. Um, so I do apologize. I am sucking on one right now because I thought I was getting better, but all of a sudden, like today, it's just been weird.
A
Uh,
lot of pollen in the air.
yeah,
Weather changes, that'll play with your throat.
it will.
Uh,
And
Speaking of weather, I hear thunder outside.
oh, fun.
Yeah.
And I actually did finally go to the docks on Saturday. Went to one of the dock in the box, and they put me on, some prednisone and amoxicillin to try and knock this out. But I don't know, man.
Just keep plugging away. It'll go away eventually.
Yeah,
Maybe
eventually.
in July or August, maybe December. You don't
Yeah,
know.
who knows? And thankfully, my work's been letting me work remotely, because I don't think they want me to be hacking up a lung next to them.
Wouldn't be good.
Which I mean, I'm on antibiotic. I have no fever. I don't think this is contagious, but you just don't want to be around that guy.
Omni says to take some stims always works for Franklin.
Yeah, where's my coffee? That's what I need to be doing.
Coffee. There you go.
Yeah, coffee for the cough. I'm not. Thomas is defending me, saying I'm not that dumb, but I literally just agreed to it. So, jokes on one of us, Thomas.
Yeah.
um, but how you been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Uh, Back in the flow of things. Been back, well, for about 3 weeks now. So,
Yeah,
yeah. That first week was kind of rough, but it's getting better. I appreciate everyone's concern and thoughts and prayers. I'm very appreciative.
Yeah. Sunday was Easter, which
Yes, it was.
I'd like to say that I planned all this out. All the delays was just so that we could do the episode passing through Gethsemane on Easter weekend.
Kind
But
of
one,
appropriate.
it would have been more appropriate to do it last week before Easter.
Probably, but hey, kind of close.
Yeah, I was close. I was close. But no, I'm not. I'm not that intelligent. I just noticed it today when I was setting up the stream. I'm like, oh, that would have been so smart of me. But no,
Omni was talking about that the other day, how appropriate it is to do it right now.
it
And
is.
Trevor Lauren says he was right. Probably concerning what you just said
About stalling just for today. I wish.
Well,
No, I wish that it had naturally occurred and it didn't require any stalling at all. But no, I wouldn't stall on y'all just for that. In fact, so we're doing the stream tonight, and then the next 2 weeks I'm not going to be available. I get some stuff wrapped up. Hopefully, get it done in the next 2 weeks here. So, no stream on the 29th or the 6th.
Okay.
But then I'll be back on the 13th. So we're good to go.
All right.
So, I almost canceled with this, but I'm like, no, I know I'm going to miss 2 weeks after this. I want to do the stream. So if all of a sudden my audio goes out or my camera goes out, I'm just trying to spare y'all the side of me having a coughing fit. But I think we'll be good.
Okay. Get over this quickly.
And then Trevor Lawrence saying, "C is common above. Who are you? What do you want?" Never answer that question.
Precisely.
Oh, he's saying, I think after seeing Gethsemane in the title, he decided we should wait until the week of Easter to watch it. Nope. Just a happy coincidence. And then
Somebody's asking for the link, and I just put it in the chat.
Oh, thank you. Let's
I
go
know,
ahead.
I know you'll pin it.
There we go. Thank you, Jeff.
No problem.
Gosh. So yeah, Easter was this past week, which was also Amy's birthday, which was also the 1-year death anniversary of my brother.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And it was very appropriate, a very appropriate message. Just the concept and the teaching of the resurrection of Christ after his death for all of our sins, the thing that brings us salvation with God. It's just an amazing thing to think about how when the Bible talks about how Christ defeated sin on the cross, you think about how God made people to not have death. And there's only sin coming into the world through which we have death. And when Jesus sees his good friend Lazarus in the grave, even knowing he's about to bring him back from the dead, he weeps openly for his friend and for the pain of sin and death in the world. And until Jesus, I think there have been 3 or 4 people that came back from the dead. There had been a random guy. They threw a guy inside Elisha's grave, and when he landed on Elisha's bones, he came back to life. Elisha resurrected someone, Elijah resurrected someone, and then Jesus resurrected Lazarus. So all 4 people had been resurrected, and that's it. And then you have Jesus, and they all die. But Jesus is the only one who came back and never died after that. And just
right.
That is what he means when he says Christ conquered death. That he was the first one who never has to experience that again. And that all of us get to look forward to being in that perfected state with him someday. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to think about on Easter. And just having that message and that reminder as we were, remembering the 1-year anniversary of my brother, It made for an extra nice Easter message. So Omni, the question, he went to hell too for a bit. So some people they look at a passage that talks about how Jesus descended into the earth and led forth a host of captives, and they interpret that as either him going to hell and leading those who had died prior to his death, those Old Testament saints, and taking them to heaven at that point. I think my personal stance on it is more that it's talking about how descending into the earth, as in he literally died, and was combating the idea that he had just like mostly died, because that was a theory going around that Jesus was only mostly dead. Uh, and so the point was, no, he literally died, and then the host of captives. Um, I think that's talking more about just the fact that he was the fulfillment of everything that the Old Testament had been promising about, and that when we die, we get to be with Christ immediately in heaven. But that's one of those verses that have a lot of debate about it.
I personally believe, like you do, that he died. He was in the ground and he conquered death and came back. You mentioned Amy's birthday. Happy
Yeah,
birthday, Amy. What day was it?
the 20th, Easter.
On Easter. Okay.
On Easter.
I believe somebody else had a birthday that day.
Yeah, a funny mustache guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That salty dude.
oh, yeah, and the salty dude. And Willie Nelson.
Oh, okay. And Danny's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Danny.
Happy birthday to Danny. And since we're not going to be here next week, I'm going to get it out right now. Anna's birthday is next week on Wednesday.
Oh,
So happy birthday, Anna.
happy early birthday.
Yeah.
I need like a birthday song that I could roll for stuff like this.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. It can't be the official one. That's copyrighted by someone.
Oh, I know. Although I don't think they claim that anymore.
Oh, really?
I heard that somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Kay Roberts says the Roman guard did a proper spear check.
Let's see. Sorry, my son's texting me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the water in his fish tank is too low, and he needs water in it. Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, Zooty Zoot. Hope your birthday's a hoot.
Is a hoot.
So,
spoilers, Omni. Spoilers.
Oh. Spoilers. And Thomas, it's okay. So I'm going to shill for another company now. Yes, I gave my son a phone. I had an old iPhone that my one of my clients I worked for when I was independent gave me. And when I didn't work for them anymore, I kept and I worked for them for like 4 or 5 years. And I kept saying, "Hey guys, I got your phone here. You want it back? You want it back?" And like no one would respond to my emails. It's been 2 years. I'm like, you know what? They don't want this iPhone anymore. And so I let my son use it, and I got a SIM card from a company called Text Now. It was a one-time $5 fee for the SIM card. And you get unlimited texting and phone calls through them. No monthly fees.
Wow.
No data.
Okay.
So it's just you can have this, and this way, if you're having an asthma attack in the night, because the way they build houses, the kids' rooms are so far from the master bedroom now, and you're out with your friends, spending the nights, at church or something. Just something to be able to get a hold of us. But at the same time, I don't have to worry about him using it for things grossly above his age level, if you catch my drift.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was. I think it's Garibaldi's second favorite thing or third favorite thing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you mean his most favorite thing,
Oh,
actually.
is that one? Okay, I thought
Yeah.
Daffy Duck and Looney Tunes was his favorite.
Well, he claimed it was, and then he said, "Well, my second most favorite thing."
Hmm. Well, it'd hardly be a Matthew stream if I didn't get things almost right, but wrong. Uh, yeah. So text now, and it's I love it. Yeah, they're quite decent. I think they're technically
Very,
on
very nice.
Singular's network, so it's
And anybody can get this
hmm
if they have a phone that's compatible with the SIM chip.
yeah, and you can
Wow.
use their texting service for free if you just want to do it over Wi-Fi. But if
I think you can do that on any phone if it's over Wi-Fi.
hmm, and they give you a phone number along with it.
Nice.
Yeah. So hey,
Yes, K. Roberts, don't pay for the phone in incriminating Centauri ducats.
it's been a minute. Do you by any chance still remember what I predicted for this episode?
Um, hmm. um, yeah, I think I do actually. So you, you hemmed and hawed over this a lot. You
I
had a
did.
lot of trouble coming up with it. At first, you thought, well, maybe it was a Kosh centric episode. Well, no, you can't have an episode that's Kosh centric. And then you thought, well, maybe it's Londo's redemption arc starting. No, it's too early for that.
Yeah.
All three episodes so far this season didn't have anything to do with the main plot line. And that's why you reason, well, it can't be a Londo centric episode. Then you thought, well, Garibaldi just had an episode about him, so it can't be about him. Maybe it's Dolores. Oh, no, we've already had a lot about Dolores in the show. Then you settled on going back to Londo. So you thought this was going to be a Londo centric episode where he's on trial, that he created himself. He'll have a point of betrayal where he'll be at his lowest point or near his lowest point. You made a reference in the prior episode we watched 3 or 4 weeks ago that he was talking with Dolores and how he lost his friends, and it's been so long since they had talked, and Dolores comes back and says, well, they were never really friends and they never really talked. That Londo wants his cake and need it too. He wants his friendships that he enjoyed while he was being irrelevant, but he wants them now that he has come into power in a horrible way. And he knows that he had done it in a horrible way. And he'll be starting to get to a very low point as he becomes very isolated from everyone and no one wants anything to do with him. And that's kind of what you want with. You didn't really know what the plot was going to be about, but just kind of hem and hawed and came up with that. So there you are.
Yep. That sounds right. And yeah, definitely. Ooh, uh, definitely some him and Han. But
Yeah,
they have definitely kept me off balanced this episode or this season. I
they
haven't
have.
I haven't quite been able to get my feet under me on figuring out where they're going with each episode, but I love it.
So I want to hear from the chat. How close is Matthew on this episode?
Thomas has already said I predicted wrong.
Okay.
Josh Street says spoiler something 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 something. Then Kiefer rides in on his new Silver Surfer board.
Omni says bullseye.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is it too late for
We
the
shall
snowflakes
see.
to vote? What?
I thought it was Pebbles. It was too late for the Pebbles to vote.
That's clearly a reference I'm missing. Yeah, as close as Strange New Worlds is to Trek. Which, hey, how about that trailer?
Oh, which trailer?
The
Strange
only
New Worlds.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
Yeah, reluctantly I did watch it. Oh my goodness.
It is the closest I
Blew the
get to
cliff.
watching new Trek.
They blew the cliffhanger from last season in that trailer. They blew it.
Oh, really?
They
See,
revealed they revealed well, they revealed who survives because it looks like somebody was going to
um,
die, and well, they reveal that that person didn't die. He's saying hashtag highly anticipated, hashtag groundbreaking, hashtag award winning.
that last one is technically true. And to
Yeah.
be fair, I bet there's many people who are anticipating.
Oh, wow. Wow, Thomas. Wow.
Deleting the comments,
I,
Thomas.
I think the power's gone to his head. Trevor Lawrence is referring back to the prior comment. Kosh
Okay.
had said the avalanche has already started. It's too late for the pebbles to vote. That's
Okay.
what Kosh said to the parents and believers.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this show started here.
Sounds good.
It's been a minute, so just in case you aren't familiar with how we do things here, welcome. Glad you're here on the stream. I got some still images that you are more than welcome to look as we talk about this week's episode, which is Passing Through Gethsemane. This is episode 4, season 3 of Babylon 5. This is my first time ever watching this episode. It's Babylon 5 has been one of those series that's been on my watch list for, too long. And I said, you know what? This is one of Jeff's favorite series. Let's watch this for the first time, me for the first time, together and share it with y'all. So each week I make a prediction. Each week we see how 100% correct I am, as always. And
Always.
and I will undoubtedly be highly distracted off many rabbit trails, but hopefully whatever you see on the screen has some relevance for what we're talking about at that moment. If you want to watch the episode with us, we got a link pinned for you at the top of the top of the chat there. That'll take you to the screening room that will sync up all of our watch times together. That only works right now during this stream. So if you're here in the future, sorry, it's not going to work for you. If you want to watch it, you need to get your own copy in some sort of legal fashion. If you want to watch it for free, then I got really good news for you. You can watch it for free on streaming services such as Roku. It's
Roku. Roku channel. Yes.
And I think if you have Amazon Prime, oh, and I just dropped off Jeff there. Sorry, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
Let me go to the right window here.
I disappeared.
You did for just a second.
I was ghosted.
Sorry about that. I think that if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free.
I believe it is. I believe it is back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I just pulled it up, and it was thinking for a hard minute there. But yes, I can watch episode 1 right now with Amazon Prime. So that is a great option. And then here's the unfortunate truth, guys. With streaming services like this, it bounces around. And so if you want to always have access to it and you never have to worry about it, go buy the physical media. I love me some physical media. And Jeff has the Blu-ray copy of it. It is highly worth it, in my opinion. All 5 seasons. I always mention you can get them from Amazon. They usually keep it around $70 to $80 in that price range.
Yeah. About that.
So I mean, it's pretty worth it.
Haven't looked lately, but
I was just trying to pull it up right now. Oh, you know what? It's $92 right now.
Ooh. Well, I'm actually seeing it for $74.19.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder which one I just pulled up here.
I'm not sure.
I must have pulled up like a secondary listing. Sometimes people squeeze other ones in.
Possibly.
This is
And don't forget, it's on Tubi TV as well with ads.
Tubi. Thank you. Oh, I
Yes.
got the DVD one up. It's all 5 seasons
Oh, okay.
with the bonus 5 movie set and Crusade.
Okay. So you get the lower resolution, you get all the commentary and all the extra goodies that you don't in the Blu-ray, and you get the extra 5 movies. So
And you spend an extra $20. But 5 movies and Crusade collection. Okay.
yeah, and you get Crusade. Yeah, the spinoff.
Yeah.
But the image quality isn't as good. The audio quality isn't as good. But there's a trade-off.
Yeah. So if you're in the future, go hit up one of those ways of getting it. Um, One of the things I've been very thankful for is that I have never had any sort of kickback on doing these streams. Because there's been some places or some shows where they are really finicky about even you doing little commentary as you have some stills here. And the owners of these people, I haven't gotten a blip from them. And so, the fact that they are being the fact that they are understanding that this is nothing but free advertising, yeah, I'm going to advertise for them for free. So thank you, whoever owns Babylon 5 these days.
I think it's Warner Brothers still. I don't think
Very
they ever
good.
gave up the rights to it.
Thank you, WB. And with all that said, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. I'm going to give us a quick 3 countdown. And then if you're here in the future, that's when you want to hit your play button so that we'll all be synced up together. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hit that play button, everyone. And absolutely, please let me know if any of my sound settings are mixed up and you are currently hearing the audio over the stream. Because if that's the case, I need to pause this real quick and fix my audio settings because we do not want the actual episode audio playing on the stream. And that's a very familiar face on the screen right now.
It should be.
Is that
You've seen him in Star Trek. You've seen him in Star Trek.
and in the A-Team? Right?
Don't know about the A-Team, but
Is okay, who is it?
it's Brad Dourif.
No, not gonna ring a bell.
Lon Suter and Voyager.
Suter. Okay.
Yeah.
I almost said that. I'm like, no, Matthew, no. You're just saying things aren't there.
You had it right. You had it right. I don't think you quite got there in the reviews of your Voyager series.
I don't think so.
Brother Theo showed up Sheridan and chess.
Showing once again that Brother Theo is an extremely intelligent individual.
Hmm.
And he talks about having faith, the heart. It's been a long road getting from there to here.
I'm sure you said that, but
And Josh, I actually got into season 2. It was Elogium that I got stuck at. Now, this is the first appearance of Suter, is it not?
yes, this is Brother Edward.
So, Brother Edward, he makes these beautiful crystalline figurines. Kind of sells himself short in his abilities, but he's willing to give it to the captain once he's finished actually doing it or finished making it.
We shall see, Josh. We shall see.
I'm gonna guess I miss it, Josh.
Now, where did Kosh come from?
It didn't seem like his ship.
Just kind of appeared behind Ivanova.
He likes to do that.
He does.
Hey, I know that face. I don't know
Do
her
you?
name, but I know the face. She was the psychic in the kickoff episode
The
of Babylon 5.
psychic. The psychic. Wow. Okay.
The
Telepath?
the telepath.
Yes. The Psychic Friends Network. Yes, on me.
It's been a few weeks since I've watched Babylon 5. Yes,
Lita Alexander.
Lita. Uh, and I also remember that I predicted when we saw her. Was it the end of last season or the beginning of this season?
End of last season.
All right, I made a prediction that she was coming back when I saw her.
You did.
So I don't know if she's just coming back for a guest appearance today, but I'm going to keep doubling down and saying that uh, Babylon 5 needs an on station telepath. That 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 character role is very much written into the series, and based on what I know of JMS, I don't see that role going away. So I think she's going to be reprising that position moving forward.
Yes, on me. She does tarot card readings too.
It's not the worst mistake I've made. It's probably not going to be the last one tonight. But I do remember that she's been quite obsessed with the Vorlons ever since she saw into Kosh's suit, his encounter suit.
Yes, she has.
Josh, different Lita. A different Lita is Rom's wife.
Yes.
And so she's saying that she got a transport out to the very edge of Vorlon space. They kept sending out a message, uh, but eventually the pilot said, "I'm not liking this. I'm leaving." She gave him the last of her money to have the escape pod just left there, and um, she kept sending out the message, talking to them, no responses, and finally she sent out a telepathic, not psychic, telepathic message, and they showed up right at the end of her air supply. Thomas, where's my donation link? It should be in the description area, is it not?
I see the tip jar there.
Is that not it? No, that's not it. Did I get rid of it? I may have gotten rid
I
of
don't
it.
know. Yeah, no reason, Thomas. No reason.
So she was mentioning that, um, or they're mentioning that once the Psi Corps finds out that she's back, they're going to be after her because no one walks away from the Psi Corps, and they're saying that they can help protect her, but she claims that she does not need protection.
I don't know if you noticed the director,
No,
Adam Nimoy.
any relation?
Yes, his son.
Oh, that's nice. Thomas, I think it's just that tip jar one, isn't it? I've honestly forgotten.
We're away for 3 or 4 weeks, and Matthew forgets.
Oh, he's gotten a black rose.
Yeah.
So the Phantom of the Opera is admiring him. Memphis is wondering if I can name the Star Trek series Brother Edward's actor was in and the character he played. Yeah, Memphis, my memory is perfect. He was in Star Trek Voyager. He played the role of Suitor. Uh,
Gee, how did you know that, Matthew? Uh, I think your audio is muted, Matthew.
it may have been. It may have been. Okay, so what I was saying is, they're watching a news story about an individual who is just convicted guilty, and they're going to subject him to a death of personality, a mind wipe, which we've seen once before in the series.
We have
Um,
season 1, Equality of Mercy.
which I'm still not convinced that is a more kind version of the death penalty. Though the body lives, the individual themselves is still dead. Like to me, that's still dead.
Yeah, the personality is dead.
And so apparently, her time aboard the Vorlon homeworld has been extremely beneficial for her, and she's in better health now than when she left. Like existing major health issues have been magically resolved. And the doctor notes that she does have an unusually high amount of oxygen in her bloodstream, and she kind of brushes it off. And yes, and Trevor Lawrence is saying that Brother Edwards is also uh, Grimmer Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. And he gets to his room and looks like bloodish written on the wall. Death walks among us, or among you.
That's it.
But of course, as soon as he gets back, it's all been cleaned up. He's saying, it was right here. I saw it. Someone had written in blood. Um, so on the death personality individual, we have not seen that person on the station, right? Like he was not
Uh,
the bomber guy.
no, this Oh, the one in the news report?
Yeah, Jason
No,
something.
we have not. We have not.
Okay, I didn't think so. I was assuming this was um, a just kind of a setting up the plot line sort of thing. And Londo is extremely happy to see Lita. He goes, Lita Alexander. And he's talking about how his informants, his highly overpaid informants, mentioned that she had been seen disembarking from a Vorlon ship, and he had written off as nonsense because no, the Vorlons don't pick up anybody. And so he's convinced that she's been to the Vorlon homeworld, which to me seems like a bit of a jump in logic. But at the same time, I mean, she
True.
was aboard a Vorlon ship. And then Londo goes for the throat. Uh, he says, I heard the Psi Corps is looking for you. And she's saying, yeah, they are looking for me. And if someone were to turn me into them, then before the Psi Corps got me, the last thing I do would be to find the person who had turned me in and implant a nightmare so deep in their mind that they'd never be able to sleep at night again. And he says, ugh, the way my life has been going lately, who'd notice? Josh is saying that there was a newspaper headline about this guy in in an episode in season 2 when Dolores was talking about how newspapers were the best way to know what humans think about her race.
Oh, that's a good catch, Josh.
So one of the reasons that this Brotherhood sect is here is because they want to see God in all his faces, I think is how they describe it. And they're trying to do kind of an understanding of all the different religions that exist. And so he's asking, what do the Vorlons believe about God?
Minbari.
And it's thank you. It's gonna be one of those nights. What the Mbari believe about God, and they're saying that we don't believe in a God per se, and this is very much the Far East kind of spiritualism idea that the soul is a non-localized entity, the same way that light reflecting off of the wall doesn't mean that the wall has is a source of light itself, but is merely reflecting that light. And so, what was her question?
What is the center of his religious feelings?
And so he's talking about how the the night before Jesus' death on the cross, um, he spent a night alone. Mostly true. He did have the disciples with him, though they fell asleep. So he was effectively alone. Like he had gone off away from them to have alone time to pray. Um, and he spent the whole night praying. God, if there's any way, please take this cup away from me. And I tell the youth kids this every time I come to this passage is that Jesus was in a full on, almost panic. about this. Like you see his raw emotion in this moment, just begging God, if there's any way at all, please don't do this to me. But at the same time, he ends it with, "But not my will, God, yours be done." And then the Bible goes on to say that he joyfully went to the cross, despising the shame, but joyfully knowing that through his punishment, his receiving Christ, or God's punishment for our sins, that it would buy peace with God for us. And that's what Brad is going over. He's talking about how Jesus didn't have to be there in the morning, but he stayed there, and that is the core of his belief. And as Omni was saying, Brad Dourif, Brother Edwards, just steals the scene with really selling his his character's belief in this.
He did. He really did. And Lanier there, I don't know if you caught any of that. He was talking about Valen being the greatest of them all of Minbari, and he was a
Mm-hmm.
Minbari not born of Minbari.
Oh, I missed that line.
And Dolores kind of cut him off at that point.
Oh, oh, death of the personality, huh? Okay, I'm pretty sure I see what's going on here. Oh, this is kind of the same plot line they do with Suitor and Voyager. The suppressing of the violent tendencies. And when those violent tendencies are suppressed and controlled, he's able to be a good person. Interesting. And so this whole time, he's hearing people screaming. He's hearing people saying, "Charlie, you killed her."
I know, right, Thomas? Paramount did it again.
So I suspect that this individual, Brother Edwards, was at one point a man named Charlie who killed someone, and that he went through the death of the personality, but something is causing that uh, core personality to redominate itself. Yeah, Charlie the tuna. Sorry, Chana. Charlie, Sunkiss wants tuna with that tastes good, not tuna with good tastes. And there's also the same kind of plot line they did. Well, kind of the same. This is the exact same plot line they did in Knights of the Old Republic, the video game, where the main character had his mind wiped by the Jedi. Darth the Raven, I think was his name. So here's the question: the rose that was in his bag, did he plant it on himself, or did someone plant it on him as some sort of means of uh, triggering the latent personality?
Excellent question.
Like I strongly I can't help but wonder if he had an accomplice who they arranged beforehand, like, okay, this is gonna happen to you. You're gonna go through the death of personality, but we're gonna make sure to implant a failsafe to bring you back. And so, brother, oh, what's
Theo?
the
Theo?
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 Yeah, brother Theo. He's a really asking, has anyone else know about this? Does anyone else know about this? So I wonder if he's like a caretaker who's aware of his past. Thomas saying last morning on Omni for the hashtag Mountain of Entertainment comment. Like Theo's concern to me says that he might be aware, perhaps, of Brother Edward's less than savory background. Retro Robot Radio is saying the sci-fi series Dark Matter had a big plot about whether criminals who had lost their memories were responsible for the past crimes or if they could be new people. Now, Retro, that was the series where there were like 5, 6 people woke up on a spaceship, no memories of the past. I think it had 2 or 3 seasons and then ended on a cliffhanger. It was excellent series if it's the one I'm thinking of.
He says yes.
So Brother Theo has come to the captain saying, uh, one of my monks is saying that he's having memories of the past that can't possibly exist. He's saying, but when people come to our order, we tend not to ask questions about their past. And for 8 years, Brother Edwards has been the best of us. And so, yeah, he's saying I'd hate for Brother Edwards to find out that at some earlier point in life he was someone very different. And so, yes, Brother Theo is strongly suspecting about Brother Edward's past. He's saying that if I know Edwards, he started digging into this on his own. And this raises an interesting question. Um, if there is something where you can kill someone's personality, how do you prevent them from accidentally stumbling upon themselves? Like, especially in a world like this, we're almost at the point. I mean, Google Image can do an image search of me. Like, I don't know if it could find me. Okay, I'm gonna have to test this right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's.
This is scary, folks.
It is. Let's see. Google Lens. Point this at. Okay.
Robot Radio. I think Brother Theo is being honest about this. I mean, he's talking to the captain in confidence. I don't think he would lie or hold the truth back if he's really trying to get help for Brother Edward.
Okay, so it's not finding anything based off me pointing my phone at the at the computer screen here. But like I have to wonder, like we're at the point where um if it was someone famous enough and you're just like, oh hey, where's a photo of me? And whoa, this guy looks so much like me.
Well, somebody that has done heinous crimes probably would have his photos or her photo out there.
Right? And Retro was saying that yes, the Dark Matter series is the one where they all woke up on on the spaceship. Such a good series. Oh, it was incredible. But it definitely died on a cliffhanger. And so they're saying that he's found an old newscast where this individual Charles Dexter, something another TV station stole, a serial killer called Dexter,
Yeah.
uh, also known as the
Well,
Black Rose Killer.
there he is.
And let's see, Dexter. Who did that one? Showtime. So Showtime stole from Babylon 5 as well.
Is Showtime related to Paramount?
Mm.
Omni? I think they are.
I think they are.
Omni says no comment.
Showtime, also known as Paramount Plus, with Showtime, is the flagship property of Showtime Networks, a subdivision of the Paramount Media Networks division. Oh, hold on, Retro. Dark Matter was licensed? What is it, a comic or a book? Like, can I continue the story in some other media form? And so here's an interesting thing he's saying. He's saying, what happens if I had died never knowing who it had been? How can I confess sins I didn't even know I committed?
That's a good question.
And he's saying,
Or
I'm worried
perhaps
that. Oh, go ahead.
perhaps God would bring those memories back.
Uh, and so he's saying his concern is that his soul is the soul of a killer. Now, now personally, like I think from a TV standpoint, I think that's an amazing question, a great thing to dig into. I
Oh, it
think
is.
theologically, um, that Christ's payment on the cross is enough to cover even the sins one wasn't aware they committed. Uh, Whenever someone comes to Christ in that moment, genuinely, then whatever they, there we go. Well done, brother Theo. He's saying the same thing, that God covers those sins that even we forgot. And thank you, Eowyn, for your donation. Said, make that guy eat my soup. All right. And he's saying that that after brother Theo or brother Edwards talked to Delin, he had a recorder going, and he thought he was hearing voices in his head, but that wasn't what happened. The recorder picked up voices in the hallway. That someone is deliberately messing with him. Oh, Roberts, that was a nice catch. Uh,
Yes, it was.
he was saying in that previous scene when Theo and Edwards were on opposite sides of that wall, uh, it was a confessional booth set up. Like it was,
I hadn't thought of that before. That's a good catch.
yeah. So they're pointing out that what's going on when it would require more than just like some audio cues, that there must be a telepath involved. And they're talking about, oh, there was a Centauri that bumped into him down below just before this started to happen. And so, if I had to make a guess, these are the victims or the family, the survivors of his victims. I'm willing to bet that they wanted revenge, but it wasn't enough to have revenge on the body. They wanted revenge on the person. They had to get his memory back.
Guess how many? He was waiting, just like
Ah.
Jesus did.
And so he's saying that, just like I've been saying, that these are uh, surviving family members. They wanted him to have his memories back. It took him 9 years to do this. Um, but the other people that were with him, they no longer had the guts to kill this guy. But the main speaker, he says, I got the guts for it. So this guy is saying that though the mind wipes are very thorough, that if you're talented enough, you can undo it. That the brain is actually um, very redundant.
Hmm.
So he's feeling pretty confident right now that they can't do anything to him because they have no jurisdiction over Centauri individuals, and there's no one in the Psi Corps who will do it. And they're like, "Well, we got a surprise for you." So Lita's a pretty strong telepath.
Well, she was touched by a Vorlon.
It's true. And Thomas is saying that Jesus never murdered anyone unless you read his book, the Book of Thomas, according to Salty. And so they've crucified uh, Brother Edwards, continuing the imagery here. I wonder if he'll be complete with a knife wound in the side, which also makes me think about how Lita was supernaturally healed a bit. Wonder if that's about to come back up. He's saying, I knew that they were going to come, so please forgive them for doing what had to be done. He's saying, please let them know that, or I just want you to know that I had the courage to stay at the Garden of Gethsemane.
Hey, it's Zach.
Oh, him. He's in the credits
He is.
or in the intro.
I can agree with that, Thomas. Zach, mega influential.
So Edward is saying that he's afraid. Is there enough forgiveness for what he's done? And and Brother Theo says, always, always. So Brother Theo is praying over him, asking that God would welcome him into his kingdom. He's saying, by the power which the policy has given me, which I feel like that's kind of the papal authority. Like, not that he is the pope, but like it kind of in the same order as the father order.
We have a bit of a time jump here.
They did. I was thinking whether or not that would happen because they mentioned that there's been several inquiries from ambassadors, especially Londo, about it, some telepath that did something to one of his people a couple weeks ago. I wasn't sure if that was talking about some other incident in the past, but I think they just skipped a couple weeks into the future here. And so the captain wonders, where does revenge end and justice begin? So I was okay. I was almost about to say this exact twist.
Mm.
Um, Not that he was going to join the order, but I was literally about to call out the fact that the guy who killed Brother Theo or Brother Edwards,
Edward.
that he was bragging about that he did it. And I was thinking how in his mind there is no punishment for committing murder. That he specifically calls out the fact that um, that Edwards got off scot free. He's like, you escaped punishment. That without the death penalty, um, and so in his mind, he's like, what's going to happen? The worst that happens is that I get my mind wiped. I escape the death penalty. There's no consequence for this. And then, sure enough, the individual who killed Edwards has joined the order, and Sheridan is wrestling with this majorly. And Brother Theo, top notch acting right there. Um, he comments how, were you not just saying, Captain, how forgiveness is a hard thing, but one that we should always be striving for? And so Sheridan has to wrestle with that, and he's like, yes, I did, and he shakes uh, the new guy's hand. And something weird going on with Lita. Has a weird bulge in her neck around some gills.
Very
Lights
good.
coming from
Gills.
her eyes.
She doesn't need the mask to breathe in Kasha's room.
All right. And Bradley Briggs is saying that the older dude, talking about Brother Theo, I believe, looks so much like the League of extraordinary gentleman lead guy, Sean Connery. Is that who you're talking about?
Not sure.
Or are you talking about the old League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I want to say the one I saw, like a 2003 film. Who was the lead in that one? I want to say it was Sean Connery.
I thought it was too.
Yeah, it was Sean Connery. But I think it was also um, maybe a TV show back in the day. No. I am thinking. I am thinking of the Avengers. Uh, Not the Avengers. Maybe the Avengers. Guy went around with an umbrella. It was a spy thing. They weren't superheroes. It was
Oh, um,
some spy.
what wasn't it? The Avengers?
I want to say it was the Avengers. How do you search for that before? How do I search for the Avengers but not the Avengers? The Avengers, but not Marvel.
There you go. And Trevor Lorne says the Avengers. So I think you're right.
Okay. Like a TV show. Yeah. Yeah, that's what wow. I wasn't doing great on remembering things in Babylon 5, but apparently I am doing great at movie trivia and TV shows. Whew.
Well, we'll forgive you for the Babylon 5 part.
I need to be right on
Maybe.
something since I completely missed my prediction for this week.
Well, this week was just almost impossible to guess.
So, Jeff, thoughts about tonight's episode?
Makes you think, doesn't it? Yeah. Really think this episode, is, from a theological standpoint, really makes you think. And you have a writer that's an atheist that wrote this.
Really? Huh.
JMS. Yes, he wrote this. He's an atheist, and
That's right.
I think he did a really good job showing respect to the Christianity faith.
And this isn't the first time he's done that either.
No, it isn't.
I mean, I'm assuming he was the writer for that episode in season 1.
Quality of Mercy, I believe he was. He wasn't real thrilled how that one came out, but this one he really nailed, I thought. And great acting from Brad Dourif. Just fantastic acting. He was a great actor to bring in for that role. Adam Nimoy, I thought he directed very, very well in this episode as well. We had good performances from the principals. We had Lita come back.
We sure did.
And it seems like she'll be around every so often. So you were right about that prediction.
Now, at the very end of the episode, they're talking about covering up logs for departure. So she's leaving again?
Well, she had left for a couple of weeks. She had just come back. And it's interesting, that last scene with Lita and Kosh, it looked like something was coming out of her and going into the encounter suit. Was it Kosh that she was carrying inside of her?
And
she's got the gills now. Now there's a question that came up in the Usenets about that. Why didn't Franklin detect the gills when he did the examination? Maybe she got it afterward when she was gone those couple weeks at the end, or were they being covered up maybe by a Vorlon?
Interesting questions. I don't know if we get answers to them or not. I would assume she had the gills at that point simply because they talk about her oxygen levels are unusually high. And so
Yes.
I kind of made the assumption that the gills is what was causing that. That somehow that was
Uh,
giving her extra boosts.
Now, Omni says that Franklin's a stim addict. He misses a lot nowadays. I counter that, though, because in that scene, you can clearly see her neck and you don't see the gills.
Yeah. And they see, so I think she had them. I think it was causing the extra oxygen. I think Dr. Franklin was talking about how she's healthier somehow than she's ever been. I think that when she was on the Vorlon homeworld, they did something to her, gave her some upgrades. It appears.
Now, Retro Robot Radio makes a good point. Jakar also had gills. We've seen him with gills. So they could have just been a standard bionic upgrade. But again, we did not notice them in the scene where Franklin was examining her.
She definitely possesses some way of hiding them.
And also, if you watch that scene closely, you see the headpiece of the encounter suit off to the side, and right next to it is the gas mask that Lita should have been wearing.
Yeah.
So she was pretending to need it, at least initially, before she got into Kasha's room.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's trying to cover it up, make people not know that she has these skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omni. She plans to wear it when she walks into the room.
One of the interesting things that this relationship going on between her and Kosh is raising, to me at least, is she is no longer a trustworthy witness, in my opinion.
Oh. Okay.
Like she is so gone in with the Vorlons that any opinion she has on them, I think, has become untrustworthy. Like
that could be fair. Although she's not saying a whole lot about him either.
She's not. In fact, she's being intentionally tight-lipped about it.
Yeah.
But just any position she takes from here on out, I have to wonder, is this what her original position would have been? Or has she come under the influence of whatever position the Vorlons would have? Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I'm assuming the Vorlons are by default the good guys in this situation. But I can't help but think whenever anything like this is going on, anytime you remove someone's almost when you're brainwashing them, kind of like it's kind of mirroring the faith of the episode. Her faith, I feel like, is moving toward being the Vorlons with the guy you looked like. What was his name? Not, I mean, Jack, but the character's name in the show.
You lost me. I'm sorry.
Sorry. So there's the guy who was Jack the Ripper, and
Sebastian.
Sebastian, thank you. So
yeah, in fact, the name is up in the chat a few times, and I don't know why they're calling for his opinion.
That's right. Tell Sebastian, what is a Vorlon? Yeah, the Vorlons know. So with Sebastian, he kind of went through the same process as Lita has, except I mean, while he's extremely committed to the Vorlons, he has an almost bitterness in his commitment to them. It's self-directed, but he seems almost bitter and everything. And so he kind of gives a more fair assessment of them, in my opinion. The Vorlon are. They've been everywhere. They've done everything the Vorlon are. Whereas Lita in this episode really is coming off more and more like devoted to them in what she does.
Yeah, she does.
And yeah, so everything she says from now on, I'm like, oh, I don't know how trustworthy her stance is anymore.
Well, you also have two different perspectives. Um, he was a normal. He's not a telepath. He was also put in deep freeze for a long time
Hmm.
and just thawed out and brought out when he was needed and put back into deep freeze. So he has some resentment there, I'm sure. Um, so yeah, you have a couple differences there. And he's been with him a lot longer too, for almost 400 years.
Yeah. And he has a better wardrobe.
Better wardrobe, definitely on me. Yes. And Thomas says he's also a psychotic killer.
There was that.
Yeah. Although we see some tendencies with Lita here. She can be quite nasty, it seems. And she wasn't really that way when we first met her in the pilot.
Yeah. In fact, she was extremely reluctant to look into Kasha's mind at all.
Yeah.
It was only because he was about to die that she was like, "Okay, fine, let's do this."
But the central storyline here, I think, is very powerful. I think there is a mirroring of the biblical accounts of Jesus in Gethsemane.
Hmm.
And Brother Edward did die for the sins of Charlie.
True.
So as Jesus died for our sins.
I
And
remember he actually had that
I hope
conversation with
I hope this
Theo.
video doesn't get taken down because of these comments, but
Brother Theo actually pointed that out about Edwards. He talked about how he's been nothing but good this whole time. He's been the embodiment of everything the Brotherhood stands for. He's so nice. He's so wonderful.
mm,
Uh, really laying it on that he is this innocent lamb sort of character.
yeah, I
And
agree.
then Brother Edwards' comment after had the crucifixion happen. Uh, one, did the Father forgive them? Line. But two, he commented that they did what must be done. Like he saw, like he agreed with them. He's like, no, I had done so, like the Charlie part of me had done so many bad things. The justice demanded death for that. And so they were simply doing what justice demanded, and so he was kind of on their side.
So does death of personality equate with physical death or not? I think that's a central question here. That's a sci-fi element because obviously we can't mind wipe people now. Maybe we never will. I don't know. But in
Yeah,
this universe, you can. And does that mean that a personality does die when they're mind wiped and replaced with another personality? Is that
yeah,
second person innocent of the crimes committed by the prior personality? And I guess this kind of also goes into the Trill aspect of Star Trek. We kind of got that with Dax a bit
mm.
in DS9. Paramount, you did it again. My goodness. Thomas says SNW is good at mind wiping you. I wish it would mind wipe me of itself.
Hey, William, how you doing? Uh, so yeah, I think that's interesting. It's interesting just from the way they talked at the end of the episode, where uh, you get that interaction with Brother Theo and Sheridan, and they're talking back and forth about the importance of forgiveness and how do you deal with that. And then you bring in Edward's killer, and Sheridan struggles with that moment. But Theo specifically
Yeah, he
points
did.
out how we are to strive for forgiveness. And so it seems as if the stance they're taking is that the original person isn't dead, that the original person is simply getting a second chance at life, that all their past sins are being effectively washed away and they're being given a chance to be the person they could have been. It's how it seemed like they were trying to take this. And so
Yeah.
on this side of the mind
Okay.
wipe, it is our burden to be able to forgive that person and accept them as a washed, renewed new creature sort of thing. Um, that's the stance they took. Me looking at this, I think I'd look at it and go, man, you murdered, like, that guy's dead. This is that person's body, but it's not that person anymore. Whenever I think about mind wipe, because what's interesting is that the Centauri was able to bring the memories back, but not the personality back.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I think if Charlie had come back, he would have ran or defended himself at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're right on that.
He definitely wouldn't have had remorse.
True. That's a good point as well. Omni says Voyager had an episode kind of like this where Seven's nanoprobes fixed a criminal's mind.
True.
Paramount, you did it again. My goodness. One interesting fact about this episode, this was supposed to be a season 2 episode. Now, after the season 1 episode, A Quality of Mercy, where we had the idea of the mind wipe introduced, somebody on the Usenets commented about a storyline very much like this. And JMS was already planning this episode for season 2, and he shut it down because he didn't want to have any idea that he had stolen this idea from somebody else. So he shut it down. He wasn't going to do it at all. And it took a certified letter from the person that wrote that Usenet comment saying that JMS could use it and would not prosecute or go to court or anything over the use of this idea that JMS had come up with on his own before the Usenet comment. So it got delayed till season 3, and it might have been stronger for it having the delay a bit, but
that's pretty cool. And
yeah,
I think
it
that also
is.
kind of goes to show that he may have been having some trauma about people stealing ideas.
Possibly.
And that he just wanted to like, hey, I know how this feels. I don't want anyone accusing me of it because I'm having to go through it myself. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
That's how JMS operates. So I'm glad we got this episode. It was very powerful, well acted.
Yeah.
Very well done. Now we got a little bit of Minbari theology here.
We did.
Scene with Lanier and Dolores.
And
we got a little bit of information of Valen.
Yeah.
We heard his name a few times. A Minbari, not born of Minbari, which is very interesting. Who is this Valen person?
Now, one of the things they've been going over, this is one of the things I really enjoy about Babylon 5. They do not remind you of stuff until it's important. They don't go, hey, we're going to talk about this now. Here's a, quick 30-second recap. They just kind of sprinkle some new bit of information, and until it's like super important, we're bringing this up now. It's on you to remember those connections. But one of the things that they've been talking about is the fact that at least Lanier and Dolores see humanity as having Vorlon souls.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like there's a little implication there that the birth rate is dropping on Vorlon.
On Minbari?
Yes.
Minbar? Excuse me, Minbar.
That
I believe they did say that.
Yeah, right? I'm pretty sure they have at this point.
well, they said something along the lines that they're being diminished. The population is decreasing. Each generation is a lesser of the prior generation.
Yeah,
Something along those
and
lines.
I feel like they're doing a implication here that the at the very least Dolores sees it as the souls are going to humans, and so I'm kind of wondering if that comment is tying in now uh, with this Imbari not born of Inbar. Like maybe he was the first human where they're like, whoa, we see the connection. And William wants to know, can I identify the other Babylon 5 role played by Brother Theo actor? You know, amazingly, I can. He was the original play actor who played. Okay, I can't give you his name, but I can give you his role. He's the guy who took over the Watcher position on the planet that Babylon 5 orbits. And I only know that because when we saw the new guy, we talked about this. And just that the original actor had to bow out.
I think Omni's pulling your leg a little there.
About Gods by the Bushel?
The name of the name of the character.
Oh. Yeah, he could be. I don't remember his name.
It's close to that. Drawl.
Drawl.
There we go. Drawl, not Drakal.
It's about what I would get if I went for it.
Drukaris, says K. Roberts.
Ducat?
Ducat. Well,
Something else they stole?
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Paramount.
He tasks me.
He tasks me, and I shall have him.
I appreciate you doing the translation for me, Omni.
Actually, William, we had talked about that a few weeks ago when Brother Theo was in a prior episode.
So could I have done it by myself? No. But thankfully I remembered the conversation from earlier.
Good to see you, Mercer.
I am very glad that they have been able to get this actor to reprise not his drawl role, but a role on Babylon 5. He's doing a great job as Brother Theo.
Yeah, he's doing a good job with that. I know, right? Retro Robot Radio, Changeling Net and B5, Changelings on DS Audio. Boy.
Tomato, potato, they're so close.
I know, right?
There are certainly many things that I'd go, yeah, they probably took that. But there's a lot of things that I think are just, common sci-fi themes that you're going to get.
Well, I can't get over the fact that both shows in season 3, episode 1 of both shows introduce a hero ship. That one just blows my mind every time I think about it.
So I'm okay with that one. It's the Section 31 ripoff that did it for me.
Oh, yes. Bureau 13, Section 31. Yeah.
I mean, that one was just too on the nose. I mean, honestly, you flip them around like that, I couldn't help but feel like it was an intentional, like thumbing your nose at them. Like, oh, it's not Bureau 31, it's Section 13, whatever. Said it backwards.
And then you have Ivanova's line of, we're not some deep space franchise, which I love.
That was a good one.
So, what was your rating, Matthew? What did you think of the episode?
I think that this was such a great episode to have the Easter weekend. I mean, it falls in line also nicely that this is right after the Pope died. Um, kind of see this pseudo Catholic order going about their business. Um, Great timing. The episode itself, I enjoy these episodes where you're just getting to see the characters exist in the universe. So this episode, it didn't have any plot driving it in terms of what's going on with uh Psychor, what's going on with uh Mondo, what is um the vice president, now president, doing, what's discount Rod Sterling up to. None of that. Totally ignored all that. There's this thing going on in the Babylon 5 universe, and here's how people are reacting to it. And I love that the universe feels fleshed out enough where I don't feel like we're losing anything by having an episode like this.
No, it just makes the universe bigger and grander, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we do learn a little bit about the Minbari culture in this.
Yeah.
And we're getting a little bit of lore with Lita and the Vorlons. So, yeah, there's still some elements in there.
There are. There are.
Thomas.
Well, now we have a new definition for the clown face.
I guess so.
So I really enjoy that in Star Trek, all episodic with a few kind of branching storyline ideas, few continuous ideas. Babylon 5, very continuous, one episode building off the next, but still able to have those episodic episodes. And this one, I could see this episode happening in so many different spots and just nicely fitting in. And I really enjoyed, just it was a one-off. The characters that got to act in it, just top notch.
Definitely.
The weakest individual was the guy seeking revenge. He kind of hammed his part up a little bit, perhaps, but it worked. He needed to be this unhinged, hammy character. And he only had like 7, 8, 10 lines. I don't know. Not really a big deal. And just his manic opposing Brother Edward's perfect calm, fantastic. So I thoroughly enjoy the episode. I enjoy the content. Actors did a great job. Well done.
Excellent. I thought you would like this one. I really did.
I did. The one thing I was right about is that the episode title was very deliberately picked.
Yes, it was. You did get that right. I'll give you that. 10%.
Yep. Yes. Anything but a 0.
Omni says, well, I hope we get to episode 10 before Christmas. We got 6 to go. 6 to go. So if we miss the next 2 weeks,
we should be good.
Yeah, we should get there maybe July, June.
Yeah. Demand 2 more.
Thomas demands 2 more to make up.
I
do have to agree with it. Right? Well, we've missed the last 3 weeks, and then we'll miss the next 2.
Should be demanding 5, Thomas.
Yeah, you're lowballing it there, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm not giving it to you, but you should at least demand what you're due.
Right.
Never demand less than what you're due.
Now, I do have to agree with Omni. Episode 10 is highly anticipated.
Ooh.
Something to look forward to.
What it is.
And yes, Josh, I do agree. We need to get to episode 16 and 17.
Yeah, before the year's out. Hopefully so. I think we can get through all of season 3 this year.
I think so. We did almost 2 seasons last year, or
Yeah.
the first 12 months that we did this. We've been doing this.
So, on that, let me make my prediction for what we'll be doing in 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks.
Yep. It's going to be season 3, episode 5. It is called Voices of Authority. Ooh.
Thomas says your prediction is wrong. And I guess Matthew's having a little bit of a coughing fit, unfortunately. So we'll see what his prediction is here in a minute.
I was almost done, and then Thomas made me laugh, and that just...
See what you did, Thomas? And no, Cinnabon cannot be the Pope.
All right, Voices of Authority. Man, there are so many different ways this could go. Okay, so on the one hand, when it's talking about Voices of Authority, it immediately makes me think of Drawl down on the planet. He's at a listening post, and I could see this people that he's aligned with sending out some sort of order. Conversely, we got a big power vacuum right now over in with Jakar's people. The Narn, thank you. With the Narn. But they've kind of already dealt with that. Like that would have made for a good episode where they're trying to figure out who's in charge here. But they've already dealt with it. They aligned with Jakar.
They did. Yes, Omni. The Janarns.
The Janarns. Authority. I'm going to go with this being a more Earth-centric episode, or at least focusing on the Earth people. So currently we kind of have 3 authorities that we are tracking on the Earth side. We have the Vice President, who's now the President. We have the Psi Corps, and we have kind of this underground movement that Sinclair or Sheridan's a part of. And I could see this being an episode where what's his name? Zach. Zach is kind of caught between these opposing authority figures. Like he's not aware of Sheridan's group. He's aware of Sheridan's authority as Sheridan, but he's not aware of the underground cabal thing they got going on with the Rangers and stuff.
Never say that word.
Cabal?
Cabal.
Ooh. Is that a word I'm not familiar with in Babylon 5 yet?
No. It's just Cinnabon's.
The bunny cabal. Yes.
yes. They're always after me, so you know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give you trauma there. So he's unaware of Sheridan's faction with the underground stuff, but I could see that he could be caught between the Night Watch people and Sheridan's authority. So I can see this kind of focusing on him, which means the central plot, needs to be whether or not he's going to report on some innocent comment that he overhears. So yeah, that's what I think we're going to be focusing on. Which way is he going to be heading toward? And we've already seen him make the compromise once, and I think for him to have a good character arc, we need to see him make the same compromise, but more easily this time. I think it's too soon for him to be confronted with being on the wrong side of justice.
The shopkeeper that he reported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll see him, but we need to see Bester sometime soon. It's
Always
been too
need
long.
to see Bester.
Too long since we've had Bester. Buster? Is that his name? Maybe. Who's Bester? He's the one who likes the nuclear vessels. Yes, Omni Buster.
There's a meme about Bester, where he goes to Sheridan and talks about the nuclear vessels or the nuclear armaments that Sheridan uses, because he used them against the Black Star.
Oh,
kind of amusing.
Well, awesome. Jeff, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Any closing thoughts here, Jeff?
I just want to thank everyone for coming. It was a great episode tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Catch you later.
See you in a few weeks.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, and be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of all the updates I do on this channel. If you want to support the work I'm doing here, then I hope you'll consider becoming one of my Patreons, where you'll get early access to all kinds of videos. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.